We just finished making an underpainting layer, and I began working on my intermediate layer. And you can see that for some of the bananas, I've zoomed in and using a different brush have started to work the paint with the shape of the banana. I also started to add a little bit of detail, but I will go back into that later. So with my background copy on and my intermediate layer selected, I'm going to select another brush and experiment with it. I selected it, went into my brush presets, changed some of the bristle qualities, and then used the pull-down menu again to save my brush preset. I'm going to use the brackets to make it a little smaller. Make sure you're on the right layer. Hold on the I, click, release the I key, and then go in and start laying down a little more detail. I'm going to kind of work with the shape again. I to select that. I, click, select that really great yellow. This is the banana grain. Kind of comes down like this. I'm going to just make some small repetitive marks. If you get a color in there that you don't want, don't worry. We will go back in and mix it out. You can hit I and click, and it will take you temporarily into the eyedropper, which will allow you to update your color. And right now I have it set on moist. You can experiment with all of the settings to get the results you like. And because we're using layers, we can change our mind at any point. So we're just kind of building up on it. Now, I have my underpainting layer turned off. What I'm going to do is turn this off so we can see the process right here. There's our progress. I'm going to turn the underpainting layer back on and the background copy. With that additional intermediate paint set down, I want to blend this intermediate with what's underneath, the underpainting. So with sample all layers selected, I can, on the intermediate layer, use the paint that I just laid down and blend it in with the underpainting paint below. I'm going to select another brush. Again, I really like these bristle brushes. Let's try a round fan. Let me grab my brush presets, make sure it looks okay. Round fan. Angle. Space it out if I want a little bit, but I'm all right with that. Let's try that. My computer's running really slow. This is a big memory suck doing this. Yeah, I really like that brush. So I'm gonna go along my side, the side of the banana very, very slowly and methodically start blending in that color. If it's blending too much, you can change this from moist maybe to dry. But remember, dry will not blend at all, and that may look kind of awkward next to all the blend work we have been doing. You can always turn on your background copy. Hit I to sample. And I'm going to go back to wet light mix. Just start to work on getting that shape. Getting the roundness of the shape, and then also some of the grain of the banana. You know the texture that goes down the front of the banana. We can turn these off. All right, we're losing a little bit of definition here, but that's fine because I can add that back on my detail layer. I'm going to turn off my underpainting layer, go up to the top of the banana, and start doing a little more detail work because these differences in color are going to give the bananas a three-dimensional quality. And these really subtle gradations are going to give it the realism that's really going to make this project work. And then as I go along, I can turn the layer on below it and blend in what I'm working with. I think that color is a little dark, so I'm going to change it to moist. I don't want as much of a mix. And I'm also going to go up here and manually change my color and make it a little lighter. I zoom out. Not quite sure about that spot. Because I did it on a blank layer, I can grab the eraser tool and very quickly, I'm not going to use a full opacity of my eraser. I'm going to change it to maybe 60, and I'm going to take a little bit of that information out. Then go back to my brush tool, turn things on again, and zoom back in and continue. So that is how we'll be working on our digital paintings. I would say focus here first on this detail. Make sure that you have details that will draw the eye in and define a focal point. And the background we can resolve with maybe just a very light dark gray texture. I think it sounds good. And I think it's looking great.